Well, hello all my friends, welcome back or welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my first make for the So Maxi for Mother's Day challenge, and it features the Cashmerette pattern. So that's this pattern right here, and stay tuned and I'm going to tell you all about my experience sewing this pattern. Well, hello all my friends, welcome back or welcome to the channel. If you're joining us for the first time, hi, my name is T and this is my channel, Crumpus Tea and Sewing. This is where I share my sewing makes, my pattern hauls, my reviews and all that good stuff. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my very first make for the So Maxi for Mother's Day challenge. This is a challenge that I'm hosting with the beautiful Crystal of Crystal Sews and Stuff, and this is our third annual challenge. Basically, this challenge focuses on sewing some type of maxi garment for Mother's Day. And if you want to learn more about that, I'll go ahead and put my first video to this challenge in the description box below. It's the intro video and it tells you all the rules, the guidelines, the sponsors, all that good stuff. So if you're interested in learning more about this challenge and participating in this challenge, make sure that you click the link below and go over and watch that video. So for my first dress, I decided to make the Appleton dress, and the Appleton dress is by Cashmerette Patterns. So the founder is named Jenny, and she has graciously, she's a sponsor for us this year. So she has graciously accepted the role as a sponsor. And so the prize, one of the prizes for this challenge is a max, or I shouldn't say a maxi, it's the Appleton dress. So the Appleton dress is not a maxi dress, but it has the potential to be turned into a maxi dress. And so that's basically what I did for the challenge. And I'm going to share with you how I did that. So this is the pattern that I'm talking about right here. It is a pattern that is designed for curves or curvy women. So initially, with the inception of this particular pattern, like I said, because it is a pattern that is designed for curvy women, the pattern was ranged from 12 to 28 with cup sizes. So you had cup C through H. She has since changed the size range to include more sizes, and so now the size range is from a 0 to a 28, and you have additional cup sizes. So I believe the cup size go from A to H now. This pattern is rated for advanced beginners, and so it's a level 2, and then the pattern number is 1201. So I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like again, just in case you are interested in getting a copy of this pattern. But if you are participating in the hashtag So Maxi for Mother's Day, you might want to hold out because you might be one of the winners and you might be able to get a copy of this beautiful pattern. So this pattern comes in PDF format as well as printed format, and your size ranges are going to be, so again, this is the 12 to 28 size range, because I purchased this pattern several years ago and I purchased it off of, I want to say it was Fabric Mart. And so I don't have the additional size ranges, but I'll make sure that I put it in this video here so that you can see what those size ranges, those new size ranges are. But for the 12 to 28 size, you're looking at a bust of about 34 7/8 of an inch to a bust 50 3/8 of an inch. And then you're looking at a waist of about 36 7/8 of an inch to 52 3/8 of an inch. And you're looking at a hip of 44 3/4 of an inch to a 60 34 of an inch, 34 3/4 of an inch. And again, remember, this pattern is the 12 to 28. So those are the size ranges for the size 12 to 28. Again, if I could find the information for the additional sizes, I'll make sure that I include that here so that you can have that information. Now, this is a wrap dress pattern, and it's a very interesting wrap dress. It's not like any wrap dress I have ever sewn, and I'm going to tell you why. Particularly because of the back band and the front band, which is also kind of like the facing of the garment as well. it's just unique. It's very unique in which the design, how the designer styled this. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about that, but let me finish telling you about the features of the pattern first. So for the materials, you're going to need fabrics such as light to medium weight knit fabrics such as jersey or ITY with at least 50% stretch on the cross grain. You also will need a ballpoint or a stretch needle, a twin needle or something like that. And then your thread, and then clear elastic. And that clear elastic is basically to stabilize the shoulders seams, but I just used just regular stay tape. So you can use stay tape, you can use a non-scratch woven. I don't think you have to have that elastic. For your 45-inch wide fabric, you're looking at about 4 to 4 7/8 of an inch for fabric, and for your 60-inch wide fabric, you're looking at 2 7/8 inch to 3 3/4 of an inch of fabric. So those are the ranges for fabric recommendations if you are deciding to do either the 45 or the 60-inch wide fabric. You can choose based on that. So it has 3 different views for the length, for the sleeve length. So the dress itself is just one length, but you do have the option to lengthen the garment or shorten the garment. So it does have short and lengthen lines on the bottom of the pattern, so you can lengthen or shorten it. And that's basically what I did to make it a maxi dress. Now, view A is the short sleeve version. View B is the mid-length version, which is also a 3/4 length sleeve. And then view C is your long sleeve option. And I'll show you the style lines here so you can see what that looks like over here. So as you can see, you do have those different options for your sleeve length. Now, again, in terms of the length of your garment, it's going to hit about 2 or 3 inches below the knee here. But again, I went ahead and lengthened my garment, but also I'm short, so I had that to an advantage as well. So the entire back length of the dress, for me, I chose a size 12, and the back length, the finished back length, is 38 3/8 of an inch. Now that ended up being 6 inches longer than what the pattern was designed for, because the pattern is designed for women of 5'6", and I'm just 5 feet. So I'm really 4'11", but I tell people 5 feet is basically the same thing. So I'm just 5 foot, and so I actually had that additional 6 inches to play with. And so I didn't have to lengthen my dress too much because I already had that 6 inches to work with. When I lengthened my dress, I lengthened it by another 7 inches. And so now it sits just below the mid calf. It's not at the ankle, so it's not like your traditional very long maxi, but it's still classified as a maxi, especially for this particular challenge. Now, I chose this beautiful fabric here that I was sponsored by Zulu Fabric. So again, for those of you who have been following me, you know that I am an ambassador for this company, and I'll go ahead and put the name across the screen so that you know the company that I'm talking about. And I'll also put information in the description box below so you could go over and check out the website. I also have a standing coupon code with them. And so if you use this coupon code here, I'll put that on the screen here. So you can get 10% off of your purchase if you use this coupon code. Now, this particular fabric is so beautiful. It is a floral fabric, and it has foils on the rim of the flower. So I'm gonna go ahead and stand up so you can see it. It's a beautiful, beautiful fabric. I love this fabric. It was so easy to work with. It is an ITY, so it does fall into the fabric recommendations for this particular pattern. And I was just very, very amazed with how this particular garment turned out. So let me show you real quickly. So I'm going to try to get close so you can see those foils there. So as you can see here on the outline, you can see some of the foils wrapping around the floral detail. And it's just such a beautiful, Beautiful fabric. Okay, so I just want to talk a little bit about the neckband that you will create for this particular garment, because it's not like your traditional neckband where you cut out a really long strip of fabric and then you just sew the neckband around the entire neckline of the garment. So instead, this particular designer has cut out a back facing and also a front neck band. And so you have two pieces for the back. You have the outer back, which acts as the neckband, and then you have another piece that's going to act as the facing. And then you have two pieces that you're going to cut out for your neckband. Now, these two pieces are going to be sewn together. So you're going to actually take your back neckband piece. So that's this piece right here. You're going to take that piece and you're going to, with right sides together, you're going to sew those two pieces together. And then once those two pieces are sewn together, you're going to open it out, press it flat, and you'll have something that looks like this. Once you press your neckband flat and lay it open, then you're going to take your two front neckband pieces and you're going to sew them at the edge of this piece here. So you're going to have one front neckband piece on the left side of this facing piece, or the back neckband, and then you're going to have another piece on the opposite end. I hope you're following me here. And so at the end of the construction of this, you should have something that looks like this here, which is this piece here is the back neckband, and this piece is the front neckband. So I hope that I made sense with that and that you could actually understand. But I thought if I showed you that you would actually see what that design looks like on me, and how the construction of that is just amazing. I've never seen a neckband for a wrap dress sewn on like that. And so I was really, really amazed by that and just wanted to share that detail with you. Now, after you do that, you do also need to put the ties onto the bottom of the neckband. And so the way in which you're going to attach the ties to the garment, so this is the ties that you're going to use to actually wrap around the body of your dress. So you're just actually placing those ties, which is for the purposes of this particular pattern, it's called piece number 4. So you're going to take the end of your front band and you're going to sandwich it in between. You're going to take the ties and sandwich it in between the front band piece on each side. And so that's how you're going to actually encase and enclose those ties down. And I can actually give you a visual here so that you can see what I'm talking about. So real quickly, I just want to give you a visual of this. So here is the tie piece right here. So here's my tie belt. And this is the end of the neckband here. So the end of the neckband, I placed the tie on the inside of the end of the neckband here. And you just stitch that on the inside, flip it out, and then you just press it down and then stitch anything that's left together. So that's basically how I did that. And I did that on both the left side of the garment as well as the right side of the garment. Okay, so that's basically how you stitch the tie together and stitch the tie to that neckband. It's a really fun detail, and I really love the way in which this particular wrap dress turned out. It is a favorite of mine now. It really is. And I think I'm going to go ahead and make another one. I love the bold colors, and that's a theme for the Sew Maxi for Mother's Day challenge, by the way, is to select something bold and bright. But I really like the really nice bold flowers. I love the colors, the rich colors in the dress. And I feel like it is a really great fabric for this particular pattern. I really like the fabric that I chose for this particular pattern this time. I will go ahead and insert a clip in here so that you can actually see how you wrap the dress around. There is, on the right side of the garment, there is a hole in the right side of the garment, and it's finished off, but there's a hole that you have to leave. It's around the waistline area, and the second tie gets pushed through that hole and wrapped around the body, the back of the garment, so that you can tie your tie on the side of the garment. So I'll show you what that looks like as well. For the sleeves, like I said, you have your 3 different options, but I selected a 3/4 length sleeve. And I had to do a 1-inch bicep adjustment for the sleeve. The finished bicep pattern for a size 12 is a 14.5 inches, and I just wanted another inch for ease, because my body actually, the circumference of my bicep actually measures at 15, so I wanted about 1.5 inches of ease for this particular garment. Although it is an ITY and it has some stretch to it, it's not that stretchy, and so I wanted to have some kind of recovery, and then also some kind of ease in the garment. And so that's why I selected that size, and why I did a bicep adjustment for this particular pattern. The thing that I like most about the pattern is I love the silhouette, I love the style, I love the wrap. I did have to, in terms of adjustments, I increased the neckline, the width of the neckline down here, so that way I had a little bit more coverage over my cleavage area. As you can see, I have a cami underneath, but I don't even need this camisole underneath, to be honest with you. It's not that low, and then I can actually cover it up some more if I wanted to. So it's not that low, and I can actually cover it up if I want to, and I don't really need that cami there, but I decided to just put it on anyway, but because it looks really wonderful. It's a purple cami, and it looks really good together. Now, because this is an advanced beginner sewing pattern, it doesn't have like a lot of hand holding, so if you're a beginner, you really don't want to sew this pattern. There's a lot of things in here that, even as an advanced, or I would say intermediate to an advanced sewist, because I'm on that cusp of intermediate and advanced, late intermediate and advanced. Even as someone with my skill set, some of these things were kind of foreign to me. Like, I've never sewn a neckband on in the way in which they have you sew it on in this particular pattern. And so that was a little bit of a new concept for me. So if you are a beginner and you've never sewn before, I would definitely say this isn't the pattern that you're going to want to start with. Maybe once you become a little bit more seasoned in the beginner phase, or entering into the advanced beginner phase, this would be a perfect pattern. And like I said, there isn't a lot of hand holding, but the information that she does provide inside of the instructions are phenomenal. So as always, the pattern comes with a booklet, and I'll show you what that booklet looks like right here. So this is the booklet that the pattern comes with, and I already showed you portions of it, but inside of the booklet, it's just, I'm always very, very impressed with the Cashmerette patterns. They always have this same type of booklet with the same type of information inside of the instruction manual. They talk about the different views that they have, and they show you the different views that you have. They give you instructions on how to choose your size for the pattern. It also talks about fabric notions. It gives you a stretch guideline for those of you who are in the advanced beginner stage, where you can actually perform a stretch test to see if your fabric actually will work for this particular pattern. So you have that guideline there, and she has this information in here that talks about the 2-inch knit stretch rule, where your garment where your fabric should stretch at least 2 inches beyond the reference point that she gives here. So very, very informative. The instruction booklet does not have like in chronological order how many steps. So like, you know, in some indie and commercial patterns, you'll see 30 steps or 35 steps. It doesn't have it in chronological order, just simply because she's taking you through and showing you what you would do for different sleeve length variations and things like that. And so it's not in chronological order in that way. However, I would say it has about maybe 35 to 40 steps in here. It's a really beautiful pattern. The sleeve is inserted using the flat method, which I really love about Cashmerette patterns. She always designed her sleeves so that you can put your sleeves in using the flat method, which is a really simple and modern technique instead of actually doing the inset method. Sometimes the inset method, especially for beginners, can be quite frustrating. And so I really like in advanced beginner and beginner patterns when I see the flat method used, because it is a really good way to introduce beginners into inserting sleeves. And so I really love that about the Now, one of the things that I want to point out before I actually close out the video is I want to talk a little bit about the shoulder line and the shoulder seams. Now on this particular garment, because you have a wide band, like the band is really wide. I think this band is like 1.5 inches, maybe even 2 inches wide. Because of that, the band is part of the shoulder line. Okay. Now that's one of the reasons why when I did my adjustment to widen the wrap, I did it on the pattern and not the band, because if you extend the band, you're extending the shoulder line, because the band is part of the shoulder line. So just be careful of that. If you want to actually extend your pattern and you want more coverage in the chest area, you may need to focus on doing that on the actual pattern and not the band, because you don't want to extend your shoulder line here. So this is part of your shoulder line here. And when I first cut out the pattern to test it, I started freaking out and I'm like, this is not going to cover my shoulder. This is not going to cover my shoulder. And then I realized that the band is part of the shoulder line. So just make sure that you have that in mind when you're doing your pattern. So all in all, this is a wonderful pattern. I love this Cashmerette Appleton dress. And as I said before, if you're participating in the Sew Maxi for Mother's Day challenge, this is one of the prizes for the challenge. The size range has extended to size 0 to 32. You have additional cup sizes. It's a beautiful, beautiful pattern. Oh, speaking of cup sizes, I don't know if I told you all. So I chose a size 12, so that's through and through. So it's a size 12 for the sleeves, a size 12 for the bust, the waist, everything through and through, size 12. With the exception, I did make a 1-inch bicep adjustment to my size 12 pattern. And I chose a size CD cup. So, and it fits beautifully, beautifully. I love the pattern. All right. So, yeah, that's basically my review of the Cashmerette Appleton dress. If you decide to purchase this before entering the challenge, I would tell you it's a beautiful pattern. You will love it. And just make sure that you look for those extended sizes. If you're on the smaller size, just make sure that you look out for those extended sizes and go ahead and order yourself a copy of this, because it is a beautiful, beautiful pattern. All right, everyone. So with that said, I guess that wraps up this video for today. If you really enjoyed this video and this review, please make sure that you give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. And as always, hit the notification bell to receive notifications of all my videos when I post them. I upload weekly. All right. And also you can follow me on Instagram, and I go by @CrumpusTeaAndSewing on all my social media accounts. So on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, and then also on my blog. And I'll put all that information in the description box below as well. All right, everyone. So until next time, stay creative. Bye.